In the middleweight division at UFC Seattle, you got Nursulton Ruziboev taking on Eric McConico. This is Uzbekistan versus USA. Oh baby. Ruziboev, ever the veteran, right? 34-9. McConico making his UFC debut at 9-2. Now Ruziboev is 5 inches taller at 6'5", tall middleweight. He's 31, McConico 34. Ruziboev 1 inch reach advantage. He stands right-handed. He lands about 2.5 significant strikes per minute and 1 takedown over the course of 3 rounds. So not impressive numbers in the UFC so far. But he came in during his UFC debut and beat Bruno Ferreira by first round KO. Then Cedric Dumas, first round KO. So two, decently named fighters. Now he did lose to Joaquin Buckley. That's a tough fight. Buckley dominated that fight 86-31 in significant strikes, 4-0 in takedowns, and slowed down Ruziboev's hype for the short term. Now McConico is a tough guy too, right? In his 9 wins, he's got 4 KOs, 3 submissions, 2 decisions. He was KO'd twice, but both of those coming back in 2019. So since then, he's been perfect, running off 5 straight wins, including a win over a guy we've at least heard of in Maki Pitolo, who he TKO'd in round 3. So he's going to come in and present some problems for Ruziboev, but at the end of the day, Ruziboev has a lot of experience both in the UFC and especially outside the UFC. You consider this guy's got 45 UFC fights, 3 in the UFC, 42 outside the UFC. So this guy has a ton of experience, has been in there many times against a lot of solid fighters, and this is going to be an easier matchup for him, at least right now, unless we're missing something about Eric McConico. And when a guy comes into the UFC making their debut, you just never know what's going to happen because you might see some losses on their resume. In this case, it's back in 2019. I mean, that's 6 years ago. So he's got, he's averaging like 1 win every year. So he's not getting enough action, but he's winning. So tough fight to predict, not knowing enough about McConico, but we do know enough about Nursulton Ruziboev to believe that he'll defend serve here and not lose to an incoming fighter making their debut. So I look for Ruziboev to win, and not only win, get the finish prior to the end of round 2. Maybe round 1, but likely round 2 to move to 35-9, in my opinion. Looking for the KO, hopefully. Middleweight division, UFC Seattle.